Hello, everybody. New day. Uh, this for me, it's actually still the 6th. For you, it'll probably be the 8th. I got that. Let me see. All right, I got tomorrow's done, and then the 8th is Saturday. So yeah, so you'll be watching this on the 8th, and I'm going to continue to. Let's close this. I'm going to continue to go through the. Oh yeah. Let's go to YouTube Studio Beta. I don't need to do that, but I'm going to. We'll continue with this Blender preferences stuff, okay? And actually, I'm going to go ahead and put the gadget up, even though I just restarted here. Like that. And I'm going to go ahead and start. And so right about 10 minutes is where I'm going to quit. And I'm starting to think I'll be doing 11 minutes. The video will still be about 12 minutes, give or take. But if I go 1 minute under, that means the little bit that I go over, which I inevitably almost always do, it'll run into 12 minutes. So it'll be a lot closer to 12 minutes than to say 15. Anyways, configure your preferences, autosave. I'll save temporary files. Where is that at? Where is that supposed to be? Name suggests autosave automatically, autosave temporary files. Is that even on here, or is that not on here? Artist perspective, 2D viewports, manipulator. Kind of doesn't matter, because when you go into your preferences, the preferences are going to be different. They're going to look different. They're in a different place. They're in the edit menu, and they're not called user preferences. They're just called preferences. And but everything's in there, add-ons and all that good stuff. You know, add-ons, themes, input, all that stuff is there. Blender user preferences file. 2.66 and later, additional option is available. Keep session. This option saves the, yeah, so you can keep your current session, I guess. That's okay. This kind of stuff is not important because it's not that hard. It's kind of stuff that's kind of in like other, other packages and stuff, and you kind of know how they work for your system. And number of undo levels. The undo settings and editing, huh? Default, Blender remembers the last 32 actions, allows you to undo them one at a time by pressing Control Z, which is the same in 2.8. Computer has plenty of memory. You may wish to increase that number. If it is relatively little memory, you might consider decreasing it to 10 or 20. Memory limit slider specifies the amount of RAM used for undo levels. Undo level 0 is unlimited. Interesting. Okay, so I'm leaving mine on the default anyways, regardless. Numpad emulation. Here, I guess I can go through. Why is there two? Oh, because it's Blender preferences is open. So interface, themes, viewport, lights, editing, animation, add-ons, official community testing, install, refresh. Input, emulate numpad, see it's got it there. Emulate 3-button mouse, it's got it all in here. Navigation, turntable, orbit method, turntable, trackball. I don't know what all this stuff means. You can actually look at a key map. You can actually rejigger the keys to whatever you want, so you can almost make it like 2.79 was. Render devices, CUDA. It wouldn't be OpenCL. Oh, no compatible GPUs found. CUDA, of course. And I got two GTX 1070s, and of course my AMD Ryzen 7 2700X 8-core processor, which is pretty cool. And let's move this in the deal. Save and load. Relative paths. autosave temporary files, um, file extensions. So autosave temporary files timer, that's cool. We'll just leave that. File paths, render, development. Okay. System. Memory. Oh, right. Undo limits. Undo memory limit. Set everything to 0. In other words, default. Open AL, SDL. That's all fine and dandy. I just leave everything as it is. Numpad emulation. Okay. Load factory settings. I wonder if I have a load factory. What's this here? Save preferences? Save preferences. What's this? Oh, editor type, I see. Oops. Oh. Accident. Now I have to do this. That. There we go. And I forget how to... Oh well, that's alright. I'll just leave it. Anyways. We got... Oh, I see. Little dots allow you to move things around. Pretty cool. Alright. So, alright, so let's go to whatever the next deal is. Second method only affects current session. To make the settings persist, you need to save them. Okay. So you can kind of figure out what to do for that. I know I said I'd look up stuff, but this is stuff I'm just gonna kind of like leave default. And okay, so now we have, what's this? Properties window. Properties window. Properties window is where you'll find most of the functions that Blender can perform with objects, materials, animation, rendering, etc. It is the area where you'll see the greatest number of changes from earlier versions of Blender, in which it was called the buttons window. Hopefully you'll get the new layout, makes it much easier and quicker to find things. Header of the properties window, you see buttons that look like this. The actual icons vary depending on the type of object selected in the free view and default layout. Properties window may be too narrow to show the entire row, in which case you can widen the window, click drag across the buttons with the middle mouse button. Scroll button row or use your mouse wheel within them. Each of these buttons gives you a different context or subsection of the property settings. Unlike older versions of Blender, there are no more sub-contexts. No additional buttons will appear in the header when you try to click any of these. Okay, so the contexts. We have render context. Overall renders, what resolution, and this is kind of cool because I can kind of go here now. Like I said, here let's bring this guy down here. That. Like I said, these are vertical and these are going to be colored. Although the icons stay the same, they'll just be like a solid color, but in order to identify them a little bit better. Personally, I like the 3D shaded little icons in the old interface, but that's what they decided to do, so that's fine. Render layers. Now, I don't know if there's a render and render layers, so let's see what that is. Active tool, okay. Get that? Render. Sampling, ambient occlusion, bloom, depth of field, subsurface scattering, screen space relation, motion blur, volumetric, hair, shadows, indirect lighting, film, color management, and then some additional armory stuff in here. So that is the render tab. Okay. And the render engine, of course, you have cycles and Eevee, which the Eevee is the real time. That's sort of like a game engine real-time rendering. Render layers context. Which scene layers, which parts of the passes the rendering process. Now I don't know if we got, see, render context and render layers context. Render and render layers. I don't know if we got a separate render. See, this is render here, and this is output. See, this has the dimensions and stuff. So render is, it's a little different than the old version. We have scene, world, object. So of course, output scene. There's the scene one. Okay. Contains settings for color management, rendering, physical modeling, background, etc. and so forth. The world. Then we got the world settings here. Nodes, surface, all this stuff. Object, constraints, modifiers. So we have the object. Object constraints here. Then we got modifiers. Then we got some sort of vertex thingy. Object data. Specific types of mesh vertex groupings, text font, lamp settings, camera settings, etc. Material. And that's material. And then we got texture. We got particles, and we got physics. Texture, particles, specify patterns that break up the uniform appearance of material, can affect the color of the material, control appearance, color, and shiny and dull, and so on, and physics. Okay, and so that's it for this particular video, and I'll see you next time, where we'll go into a little bit further. Thanks for watching.